What if a photograph shows something you wish you'd never seen? From vanished hikers caught on camera for the last time, to ghostly figures hidden in the trees, and even unnatural forces lurking in rivers and forests. We're looking at scary photos taken by hikers in abandoned national parks. Who or what was out there with them? Paula Miranda, only 31 years old, went into the wilderness of Wekiwa Springs and never came back. Her car was found sitting in the lot, doors unlocked, with her phone, wallet, and even her shoes left behind. It looked as if she had simply stepped out and walked into the trees without a reason. The 31-year-old can also be seen in 2 photos taken by the hikers that day. On December 18, 2022, hikers captured a disturbing video. A lone woman was swimming in the dark, alligator-filled river. Her family confirmed it was Paula, but the sight was strange. She was completely alone, moving slowly in waters everyone knew were dangerous.
The following is the original video of Paula Miranda before she went missing.
The mystery deepened. Her family said she would never go into the river, never take such a risk. Yet there she was, caught on camera. Search teams scoured the park, but Paula was nowhere to be found. No struggle, no sound, nobody. All that was left was silence. She entered the water that day, but she never came back out. With that being said, let's move on to our second most chilling photo, taken by hikers. On June 25, 2023, in Lower Calf Creek Falls, Utah, 2 young girls swam happily beneath the falls, unaware of what was about to happen. They suddenly ducked under the water as if something had startled them. Only seconds later, massive boulders crashed down from above, striking the pool with violent force. The rocks missed them by only a few feet. The water shook, and the sound of stone breaking against stone echoed across the canyon. For a moment, it looked certain that the girls would be buried beneath the falling rock. But when the dust and splashes cleared, they rose back up from the water, alive. No one in the area was hurt that day, but witnesses said the scene felt wrong, almost unnatural, as if the cliffs themselves had chosen the moment to strike. Moving on to our third scariest footage, featuring scary photos taken by hikers in abandoned national parks. On October 17, 2024, in Salguero, Pernambuco, a strange thing happened near the water. A huge circle began to form in the river. At first, it looked calm, but soon the water started moving fast, turning in a wide spiral like something pulling everything inside.
Sai da água! Sai da água, Miguel! Sai da água! Sai da água!
The father saw the circle getting larger and closer to the edge. Fear spread across his face. He quickly gathered his kids, telling them to run far away. The sound of the water grew louder, almost like a deep growl from under the surface. The ground near the shore shook lightly, and the air felt heavy.
Sai da água! Sai da água! Vai,
Everyone nearby froze, watching the strange whirlpool. Nobody knew if it was just nature or if something darker was hiding beneath. The father did not wait to find out. He pushed his kids ahead, the cold wind rushing around them as the water spun faster, as if something unseen was trying to rise. The scene left behind was haunting, an empty riverside, the dark spiral still turning, waiting, as if calling for someone else to step too close.
Socorro! Chega ligeiro! Chega! Socorro!
Let's move on to our fourth scary encounter recorded by hikers. On April 12th, 2023, inside the Soquel Demonstration State Forest in the Santa Cruz Mountains, a hiker began filming his walk. The forest, known for its deep trails and old logging history, was quiet at first, but as he moved further in, the air grew colder and the sound of the wind seemed to vanish. The first strange sound echoed through the trees. It was not the cry of an animal. It was low, almost human, like a whisper carried on the air. He froze, listening, but the forest around him stayed still. Another sound came, this time louder, like heavy steps on dry leaves, but no one was there. His breathing quickened as the noise circled him, moving from one side of the trail to the other. The camera shook in his hands. The whispering grew stronger, almost as if several voices were calling from the woods. He turned, but the trail behind him was empty. He finally whispered to himself, "It's time to leave," and he ran, the strange voices fading but never fully gone. On April 10th, 2014, deep in the forests of Norway, a man was hiking when he found something strange, an old house hidden far from any path. He turned his camera toward it. The place looked abandoned, its walls broken, windows dark, yet he discovered something disturbing inside. The house still had electricity. Lights were flickering faintly.
Oi, hva? Gamle driten her, da. Faen, ass.
He stepped deeper into the rooms, the air heavy and cold. The floors creaked under his boots, as if the house was warning him to leave. Then everything changed. A shadowy figure appeared in front of him. It was not human, its dark shape twisting, its eyes fixed on him. Fear took over. He stumbled backward, his breath caught in his throat. The shadow moved closer, and in panic, he slipped on the stairs. The camera shook violently as he fell. recording ended suddenly, leaving only silence and an empty screen. No one knows what he saw in that house, or if he ever made it out. With that being said, let's move on to our next haunting footage. On the night of October 29, 2023, something very strange was caught on a Ring camera inside a house. The recording shows the drawing area quiet and still when a mysterious floating light appears. The light can be seen moving slowly through the room, almost like it was alive. It didn't flicker like a normal reflection, and it didn't vanish right away. Instead, it drifted around, changing direction, as if it were searching for something. The house was empty at the time. No one was walking there, and nothing could explain why the light was moving inside. Watching it back, it looked less like a trick of the camera and more like something uninvited had entered the home. The eerie silence of the footage only made it worse. A glowing shape moving on its own inside a place where there should have been nothing. Some say it could be dust or light from outside, but the way it moved made it feel more unnatural, more disturbing, like a presence watching quietly in the drawing area that night. With that being said, let's move on to our seventh encounter. He laughed it off at first, thinking it was just smoke or the whiskey playing tricks on him, but when he looked closer at the picture, the shape wasn't random, it was almost exactly him. The beanie, the rounded shades, the way it seemed to lean out of the fire like a shadow breaking free. He tried to brush it off, but a part of him couldn't shake the thought that maybe out there in the silence of Sequoia, something had stepped through for a moment, something that looked like him but wasn't. The photo was taken on October 17th, 2021, and since then, he swears that every time he goes camping, he feels like he's not alone anymore. Moving on to our scary photos taken by hikers in abandoned national parks. The picture was taken on July 23, 2022, deep in the Bunya Mountains. At first, nothing looked abnormal with this picture until you started zooming in. Ever since that day, the photo has never stopped bothering him. The figure in the black dress, clear as daylight in the image, yet invisible in real life, didn't feel like an accident of light or shadows. It felt like something that had always been there, waiting. The fact that others had felt fear at that same spot only made it worse. And to this day, whenever he looks at it, he can't shake the thought that he might have caught a glimpse of something tied to that trail forever, something watching hikers pass by, whether they notice it or not. With that being said, let's move on to our ninth scary photo. On August 14th, 2019, he snapped the photo in Joshua Tree National Park, joking that he at least needed one picture of a tree before leaving. It was late, the desert was silent, and the only light came from the sky above. He thought nothing of it until days later when he scrolled through the shots on his phone. One image made his stomach drop. Something was in the tree, a shape that wasn't just bark and branches, but something darker, almost human, almost watching. The picture taken on that night still chills him, and when he looks at it, he wonders if Joshua Tree holds more than just twisted branches under the desert stars. That brings us to the last photo uploaded by a Reddit user. On May the 6th, 2024, this Reddit user checked old trail camera photos. Nothing unusual was expected, but one image showed a silhouette standing in the background. The next frame revealed a white spot, brighter than anything else in the shot. No one was there. His brother was completely alone. To this day, those photos remain unexplained. For more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like this video. Comment below which photo you find the most horrifying. Don't forget to press the bell icon for future notifications.